Welcome to Straight from the Muzzle, folks, where we are anything but straight. My name is Space,
And I'm Bean.
and we welcome you to our show, which is about what today?
Today's a really cool show. We have a guest we will be interviewing today by the name of Foxene Starr. I almost messed up for a second there. Foxene Starr, yes. Which is a furry artist. Huh?
So what? Sorry, I'm
fucking interrupted me, Space. I'll come over there.
I never interrupt you. That's the weird thing. It's Friday.
Good day.
Anyway, continue.
Foxene Starr is a artist in the furry community who does, of course, furry art, but also tattoos, which we don't see as frequently in this fandom. So we wanted to get in on that and learn some things about you. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a bit about yourself?
So yeah, I go by Foxene Starr. I created that name back in middle school, so it's not very creative. It has fox in the name, and so yeah, I'm from Denver, Colorado, and yeah, I've been in the furry fandom for quite a while now. Probably since I was like 12 or something when I first got on the internet. Probably even before that, because I was really in love with Robin Hood, the Disney version.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, since about 12, 13, I am now 33. So I feel like that's a long time. And I think I qualify for the gray muzzle discount.
Yeah. I don't know. That's what I've always wondered. Like, where is the gray muzzle age limit? Because I'm like, I'm 34 and I'm like, is that qualify as a gray muzzle? I don't know.
And it's always like, is a gray muzzle someone who's been in the fandom for a long time or somebody who's old,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, from what I've been told, I'm just going off of what I've been told. I've been told I'm gray, so I'm like, all right, I'll just accept my fate. I'll just accept this.
I mean, I've got gray hair, so I guess that qualifies.
Same.
Gross.
Yay for hair.
Yay! But I interrupted you. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. Yeah, I mean, I'm just. I feel like I'm just kind of like the run of the mill furry here out in Colorado. I mean, I love doing the artwork for it, and yeah, like I did art for so long, and my friends one day decided, oh, hey, you should do tattoos. Oh, you draw all the time. You'd be good at this. And totally got me a tattoo kit for Christmas. And I should not have done tattoos.
Oh, man. I've heard a lot of stories about people just getting tattoo kits on the internet and thinking they could just go for it right on skin. And there's definitely I've always wondered, I hear so many different opinions about getting a tattoo machine and practicing on melons or on the fake skin or on yourself versus just going into apprenticeship without doing that first. And some people are super against that, and some people are like, whatever, and I just don't know what's right and wrong in it.
It really is. It gets to be kind of a battle, I've noticed, in the tattoo community. So my journey, I was that guy who did the whole, which I feel is the wrong way. It's my opinion that tattooing all of your friends, not getting a correct apprenticeship, I feel like that's the wrong way. And reason being is I messed up a lot of people, and I didn't know what I was doing. This kit that I got, I got it back in 2007, 2008. My friends got it for me. It came with starter inks and 2 machines, clip cords, all this stuff, and a little DVD. And
so it's old. It came with a DVD.
Yeah, it came with a DVD. And I at least my friends started me out. They're like, yeah, you probably shouldn't tattoo anybody yet. And I started doing on the fake skin, which the fake skin that it came with was garbage. It was just, I mean, you can tattoo on pretty much anything silicone, which, you can tattoo on adult things that are silicone.
I did not know that. That's fun.
Yeah, they have a lot of artists tend to do those, and they make really great art pieces, to be honest.
Just go
But
buy like a mannequin with like silicone skin.
some people
Just
do.
start working on it.
But that's how they get you. Like these kits, like now, like you can get them on Amazon. Like I actually get a lot of my just disposable supplies on Amazon, like clipcord covers, rubber bands, and stuff like that. But you can get full on kits there for like $100, and then like that's where it gets you. They're like, you can start, you can do this and this and this until you have to buy more supplies.
Yes.
I cannot tell you how many times I've had to drop like $500 in a day to replenish my supplies. And a lot of people starting out, they don't have that kind of money.
Yeah, I never thought about that. You know, you have the kits and it comes with some stuff, but I always thought maybe you could buy a bottle or two of ink online and some needles and just, you know, like sewing. I got my sewing machine and now I could just buy some $3 thread and some needles and keep going. That's not the same.
Not
It's
really.
like a freaking sex toy. I pulled up a tattoo kit on Amazon. And so I'm looking at tattoo kits, and there's one that's like $93, and it's the Dragon Hawk Complete Tattoo Pen Kit Rotary. But like the rotary thing is like this. They make it look huge. It's obviously not huge. It's probably like handheld, but it looks like
it's a fat pen. It looks like a fat something else.
It either looks like a vibrator or it looks like one of those,
Don't use
like,
a tattoo machine as a vibrator, please.
Oh my gosh, please don't. I mean,
it just looks bad.
I mean, you can use a vibrator as a tattoo machine, strap a needle to it and boom.
Oh my gosh. Talk about a stick and poke.
Oh my god. I would if I saw that and I walk in and I just see a bunch of people doing that with it, I'd be like, I don't know if I should be, impressed or if I should just walk out.
Well, I gotta say, TikTok is a wild thing because that's where I got the idea.
So how would you describe the correct way to start getting into becoming a tattoo artist?
So this is my disclaimer. Everything that I'm going to kind of describe really is my opinion. There is, I guess, quote unquote, no wrong or right way, but I feel the correct way to get into the tattoo world is to start off by being an artist.
Oh, yeah.
I personally will not go get a tattoo by anybody unless they were an artist first. It is like my biggest thing. Like, you need to know the fundamentals of art, like anatomy, not even just people anatomy, just like the anatomy of objects, of like flowers, of, things. Like you have to know what you're doing before you can stylize it. And I feel like the first things that you need to do are like know how to draw and to go find an apprenticeship. And like that's like the short version. And you break it down even further is like having a portfolio. Like, what does tattooing mean to you? Like, are you wanting to do this just as a hobby to tattoo some stuff on like your friends? Are you trying to make a career out of this? Like, what are you trying to do? Because like within my short apprenticeship, I got reamed for suggesting that, oh yeah, I could just do this for like a hobby, because these people that I was being taught under had put their, blood, sweat, and tears into, their career. This is like their life. This is like a lifestyle. And I didn't really realize that until I got to do this full time, because this is hard. And if I were to do it all over again, I would have a portfolio. I would, be drawing way more. I would be learning more about the history of tattoos. I would be learning more about the safety of it. That's one of the big things too, is like when people first start, they don't think of the safety of it. Like I hear horror stories about people who got tattoos in the 90s in their basement and stuff. And people have gotten hepatitis C or HIV.
Oh, God.
One of my coworkers got a tattoo from a shady shop, and it was so infected. Like, when he came into work, I was like, dude, what happened to your arm? It was real nasty.
Yeah, I mean, I hear those stories too with like those shady shops, and I mean, I've been in a few of these shady shops, and it really is, you got to look into reputable places. I mean, sometimes you can find some real gems in like these hole in the wall things, but also a good chunk of tattoos that have gotten infected aren't like they really aren't the shop's fault
The
per se.
aftercare.
It's the aftercare, and a lot of times people don't. They really just do not know how to take care of their tattoos or follow the instructions. Or sometimes when people's tattoos get infected, they can have allergies to the ink.
Yeah, that's true. Red ink bothers me a bit. Red ink heals pretty gnarly on me.
So I have a client that I still tattoo. They had such a bad reaction to red ink. I did a piece on their chest, and it got infected. It was inflamed, and it healed like with chunks missing, like out of their skin. And that's not uncommon for people with allergies to red ink. However, like I've been tattooing since about 2008. In my entire time of tattooing, I've only had 3 people have infections because of allergies. So I've had 2 people have red allergies, and I've had 1 person have a blue allergy. And it mimics that of like a huge infection because, well, it kind of is like your body's trying to get rid of this substance in your body. But the guy who had the red ink allergy, it healed fine. It just looks like a 3D tattoo now, and there's really nothing you can do about that. The gal who had an allergic reaction to red, she loved red tattoos. This girl was crazy because she'd come in, down a bottle of Benadryl, and then get tattooed. She's like, no, I'm fine. I want it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like,
she likes the pain almost.
Red is a beautiful color in tattoos. It's one of the most, like, especially if you get American traditional, red is one of the most common colors in that. And my allergic reaction was not that bad, luckily. I just had to take some extra care in the healing process. But, oh, man, I would hate to have to do that.
Crazy. I mean, you're going to sign this, waiver, right? She's like, yeah, no, I'm good. Glug, let's go. I'm like, oh my God. All right. I don't recommend that. I really do not recommend that. If you know you have an allergy to a color, please do not do that.
Is there a way to like spot test ink then on someone's skin to make sure?
Well, that's the thing about allergies with the ink, though. I mean, you can do a color test. I mean, a lot of times people do color tests if you have a darker skin complexion to see how the tattoo heals and color wise. But if you're super worried about it, you can do it. Artists typically don't like to do it because it is typically like a setup. So if I were to do like a color test on somebody, it's like a minimum $100. So you're getting like $100 for like a rainbow dots, which that's cool. We can do it. But allergies can come up later on as well.
True.
So
it's kind of it's a risk either way.
It kind of is because like tattoo ink in your like so I it's not my client, but it's like a client of one of my coworkers. I think they had a reaction like 2 years down the line to their tattoo. And
interesting.
Wow, I didn't think a healed tattoo could have a reaction. I guess it's still in there, like your body breaks it down gradually, but still it's there.
One of the things too, I mean, with that one, I mean, their skin just kind of got a little itchy and raised, and they just went to a dermatologist. They got the correct stuff, and it's since been fine. But also one of the things too, like your tattoos will raise up and get kind of bumpy, I guess, apparently with barometric pressure, as well as if you're dehydrated too.
Oh my God, that's okay. My rib tattoo raises up a good bit. And I never knew why. I don't know why it's just my ribs, but
That is
Like, I can
interesting.
still feel the outline of it, and it's been a year and a half, 2 years since I got
I
it.
wonder if a change in diet or a change in medication on someone can also elicit a reaction as well without actually knowing anything down the road.
I mean, I would assume so, because like everybody's skin is different, everybody's body breaks down,
So
like the ink
interesting.
different too. It's like tattoos, unfortunately, are not an exact science. I could tell you stories upon stories about how people's skin just acted differently. People's skin sometimes don't hold colors. Like I had a client that they had like a stoplight on their tattoo, like the red, yellow, and green. The green in the tattoo completely fell out. Like no green.
What?
Weird.
Yeah. And like I have a client that can't hold purple. Like I've gone over his tattoo like 3 or 4 times. I've done three different types of purple. He cannot hold purple to save his soul. He can hold blue and red, not purple.
That is so weird.
I have one of the feathers on my parrot on my ankle has this specific shade of green on it, and it didn't, when it healed over, I thought maybe the scab fell off prematurely and it pulled the ink out. It was just back to my bare skin, and I got touched up and I could still barely see it. I wonder if that's why.
I mean, it could be a possibility.
It's
I
also
mean,
a very small area too, so
yeah. One of the things too, I try to tell people, don't let your tattoos scab at all. Please don't.
How do you not let your tattoo scab? Because I know, I mean, I take pretty good care when it comes to aftercare and making sure it's hydrated. Would you use Sanoderm to keep the fluid on it?
So that's what I've actually switched to. But I know some people have a hard time with the adhesive.
I do.
I don't know what's
allergy.
Yeah, it's like I don't know what's going on with Sanoderm right now because I've actually switched from Sanoderm. When I first started using it, it was great and everything, but then people had bad reactions to it. And they've noticed that if artists use a bunch of green soap before putting on the Sanoderm, people will have a reaction to that too. So
what is Sanoderm?
So Sanoderm, or there's a couple different brands. So Sanoderm, Tagaderm, and I use a brand called Derm Shield. They are a second skin type bandage. They use your own blood and plasma to help heal your tattoo, and they create sort of an artificial blister. I like using these ones even for my own personal tattoos because it's pretty much like idiot-proof tattoo healing. They're semi-waterproof. And,
genius.
Right, I love this stuff. They're semi-waterproof, and like you can touch it with like your bare hands. Like you don't have to worry about like the getting like grease on your clothes or anything. Like the way that I do it, I have my clients keep the same piece on for up to 5 days. About that 5-day mark is about the time like your tattoo gets a little itchy, and that's kind of like your indicator to take it off. The trouble that I was finding, some people do a replacement piece, and after like the 24 hours, they replace and put another one. I found that's been too abrasive for people's skin. So that's why I switched from Sanoderm. I tried doing that with the Sanoderm, but even then, like I thought about contacting them and being like, what's in your adhesive, bro? Because
a lot of people have started complaining about it.
Yeah,
they looks like they have a new item called Sanibomb, which is it's kind of like chapstick now, but it's like a bigger version of it.
So with Derm Shield or Sanoderm, you suggest they don't you put it on after you finish, and then you suggest they don't take it off for probably about 5 days.
Yes, so that's how I have it in my instructions, is to keep it on for up to 5 days. Like I just suggest do not keep it on more than 5 days. You can take it off sooner and do your A&D if you want to, but no more than 5 days, because the majority of the healing is done within that time period, enough so you can, touch it on with a bare hand. I mean, you still want to keep your tattoos clean. You still want to keep them hydrated. But within that, like 5 days, it at least gives some of my clients kind of a peace of mind that they're not having to worry about finding a place to clean it, and like worrying about getting Aquaphor places and whatnot. Especially because a lot of my clients travel.
Oh,
okay. So that was my next question. And I'm just asking I'm asking this out of pure selfishness. I'm not sure how many audience members want to know all this detail, but when after you use the Derma Shield and you take it off, so do you skip the Aquaphor stage and go straight to your standard like Lubriderm lotion, or do you still do the Aquaphor for 3 days and then switch to the lotion?
Nope, this takes place the Aquaphor.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so after the 5 days, I'm just like, you can go straight to unscented lotion.
Nice. I might have to try that. Now, my shop doesn't carry any kind of Sanoderm or Derm Shield, so it's probably something I would have to buy and request, bring it in.
You can just go on Amazon, see if they have some.
I know that you can just buy it. It's online.
Yeah. Amazon is where I get the Derm Shield. I guess Derm Shield has a contract with Amazon, so it's their actual brand.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, I have some clients that we just do the regular saran wrap, and then their significant other just puts the stuff on at home. Sometimes that helps because you can bleed out. You can let the tattoo breathe and bleed out a little bit before you put the Sanoderm stuff on or the Derm Shield on. And that way you're not, because I know like the big thing right now is the blood bubble. Everybody likes the blood bubble.
Yeah, it literally looks like a blood blister.
It does. It looks gross with the ink and everything. But if you're no.
Don't do that.
You want that. It's like, no. You want that.
You want the juice. That's what's healing it.
Yeah, that's what's healing it. Because if your bandage does not spring a leak, your body will have reabsorbed that after about 2 days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And like if your Derm Shield springs a leak, if it leaks out the side, I tell people to, dab it, and then I like to ghetto tape it, like get some paper tape and just tape it and leave it on. I mean, that's really informal.
I love it.
Just ghetto tape it with the paper tape. But I mean, you're able to take it off and do the regular healing or whatnot. But for me personally, I tape that because I want that all in there. I want it just leave it. So.
Where are we? I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out where we are. I'm just so like, I'm Google searching everything that you're talking about. And I'm like, ooh, Derm Shield and Sanoderm.
I just added Derm Shield to my Amazon list.
Because I've never heard of these terms before. So I'm just like looking up all these different things. I'm like, this is cool.
Yeah. And you can use it for like regular cuts and scrapes. Like, I guess the thing with like Sanoderm is it was like originally created for burn victims.
Oh.
So it was to like keep burns and stuff from being like contaminated and being in pain. Like I have to do more research on that, but it was just like a snippet that I had read about like Sanoderm. So I'm like assuming a lot of these other ones are kind of like that too. So
that's interesting. Was this developed by a tattoo artist?
I don't think so, because Tagaderm is the medical one. You can get Tagaderm at like Walgreens and stuff. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, Sanoderm was probably now created for like tattoo artists because that's pretty much what they are selling to. But I don't know the history too much about that one. My assumption would be, yeah.
I'm going to have to go into that because I love history of like companies and all that stuff. So I love going into that kind of stuff.
I just like it way better because like I remember getting like the few tattoos. Like I got my first tattoo when I was 16 and it was like on my back and I was bleeding through all my shirts and I had gone to the beach like a dumb 16-year-old and like my first tattoo looks horrible now. But like my recent stuff still I feel like the stuff heals better because it's all kind of taken care of. And I mean, I know like a lot of people worry about, oh no, you can't keep that on. It's not breathing. It's created to be breathable. It's created to help heal. And for me personally, I've had better results with having this and I like to educate people about it.
That's good.
Man, speaking of the first tattoo you got, what was the first tattoo you gave someone else?
Oh my goodness. So the first tattoo I put on a person was actually this giant phoenix. And my thought was, oh, these tattoos, don't, do small tattoos. That's boring. Let's do this giant, 12-inch flipping color-filled bird.
Oh, no. And I've heard...
It's like
I've heard a stereotype that getting phoenixes is really hard to do.
I had no idea what I was doing. And this gentleman, he was a friend of mine at the time, and unfortunately, he has since passed. But he sat through it. I brutalized and hamburgerized his arm because I had no idea. I had no idea about color blending. I just drew on him like it was a marker, and this was in my kitchen. I didn't have good sterilizing. Yeah, I didn't have good sterilizing anything. This was just like the epitome of like what belongs on tattoo fails.
Just put some Windex on it. It's all good.
Oh, yeah.
No. Windex. Well, WD-40, man.
My big fat Greek wedding, put some Windex on it, sanitize, and then just go for it.
On it.
Did he like it?
Well, oh yeah. Well, I mean, I think my saving grace was I did art.
Yeah.
So it looked like my drawing, at least. At least
the art was there. It was just the tattoo technique that was kind of.
Yeah, the art was there. It just, my lines were crap, my color was crap, my everything else was crap, and his arm was fucking scarred. And
if he was still here today, I bet you could do a really good rework, because I saw your evolution rework, and that was really good.
Thank you. I would have loved to have reworked that, and unfortunately, things happen in life. But
the cool thing about you being an artist, like especially with you being a furry artist and then going into tattoo work, the cool thing about that is that what sets you apart from other tattooists is that their artwork is more, you kind of see it's more like theirs is more traditional tattoo art, whereas yours is more, I guess you could say, on the artist spectrum. It has more variety. It has more pop and zing to it. I'm going through all of your Twitter, not your Twitter. I'm going through all like your different Instagram ones, and there's so many fun, different things in here that I don't really see very often in other, like when it just by passing by, I just don't see it very often in anyone's tattoos. I just see like the generic stuff that everyone always gets, but you don't ever see things like, for instance, the sprite from a Miyazaki film, or what was the other one I came across? I came across one that was like, oh shoot, what was it? Crap, I'm gonna have to scroll back down.
The style that you
it's just good.
The style that you work with, like I know all the basic ones, like American traditional and Japanese and new school and things like that. And I've seen more illustrative type tattoos before. Is that just what it's called? Is like illustrative tattoos?
So I'm really not too versed with the lingo to be honest with you. The style that I like the most is called neo-traditional.
I know what that is.
It's kind of like these, like a spin on traditional. There's like extra lines. Everything has kind of like a little bit of extra lines and deep color and everything. I kind of gravitate towards that. But at the same time, it's like my furry side kicks in, and I'm just like, whoa, I want to be a little bit more dynamic than just like this pretty little cat with some leaves and one single paw. I'm just like, I'd like to do stuff like that, but then I like to have it more like animated. I like, good facial expressions, and like one of the things that
personality, you want some oomph behind it.
Yeah, that's how I want to do it. And like one of my clients, he is dragon obsessed. This gentleman, like most of the dragons in my gallery are his. And I try to stay away from all of the traditional dragons. Like the most recent one I did was like this ice dragon. It's kind of like coming down his arm, but it's got this huge bridge of the nose, and he's got such a friendly face. And I gave him like a slit goat eye. And people don't get stuff like that. I'm like, please let me design something kooky for you.
I saw that in your Instagram. If I'm thinking of the right one, it's or on your, it's on your Instagram, and it has like the blues and the more yellows. The way you packed in such light colors, it almost looks holographic. It's fantastic.
Thank you. I try to just. Like, I love color packing. Like, I just want so much color in my stuff.
How in the world do you achieve a watercolor effect The one that the splatter paint peacock feather, that is wicked.
Oh, thank you. Like watercolor is one of those ones where I enjoy doing it, but I don't do a true watercolor. A lot of times people want like these watercolors and they are kind of watered down ink, but they don't always heal the best.
No, they really don't.
So I try to make mine more, I guess, quote unquote, splatter.
That's what I noticed.
That's what I noticed. You call your artwork. It's called like the Splatter Panda. That's a cool looking one too.
I do more splatter paint because the saturation stays longer. it just, the longevity of a more saturated tattoo will just look better in the long run.
God,
but I really like, I really enjoy doing I do enjoy them. I do. Because when people are like, I want this watercolor, I'm all like, you're going to just get splatter paint and you know it. But it just took me a while to perfect my technique on this. And like, I'm not trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm like the, Tat Master 9000 over here. Like, I'm really not. Like, I worked really hard to get where I'm at, but I do have a lot of growth that I still have to achieve too. And I'm working my tail off to try to get more recognition within the Denver area. And my journey was something to get here to begin with.
So with that journey, I know you mentioned, getting an apprenticeship and having a portfolio. Do you just walk into a shop that you're interested in and ask if they're accepting apprenticeships? Like, how do you go through that process of finding a shop?
How do you get a license too? Like, do you have to get like a certificate or?
Okay, no, and I got to figure out where to start with that.
Start with hers and then end with mine.
Okay. It all kind of combines together. It does. But starting with that, you can kind of do that. You have to have a solid portfolio. Like I recommend, because I've been kind of working with an apprentice. I'm trying to just get him up to par a little bit art wise. But I would suggest having 1 or 2 full portfolios and half of it be tattoo flash and half of it be your personal artwork, but they need to be full pieces. So like you have to go up, you look up stuff and be like, what is a flash sheet? Look up and see what people are doing for flash sheets. Do traditional flash, do neo-traditional flash, do Japanese, do these flash sheets in all of these styles with crisp lines. And I recommend people to do line work sheets and full color sheets. So like if you have like a traditional, just book portfolio, have one side be your line work so they can see how clean and steady your lines are. And then have like your color sheet and have like full color, but do like a full 2 books. That's like, I don't even know how many pages. I gotta look.
Like sketchbooks or
portfolio here. It's like.
And what's a flash sheet? Is that like?
So
is that just a drawing, or are you tattooing onto it?
So let me see how to define a flash. So a flash sheet would be like a sheet of paper with a handful of different designs on it that people typically can pick from and get as a tattoo.
So like when you walk into a tattoo shop and you see all the art on the walls, you'd be like, I want that one. That's a flash sheet.
Yeah, that's a flash sheet.
Okay.
And
I've seen that.
So, and like I really recommend like at least half of your portfolios be flash pieces, because that's kind of what like the tattoo artists are going to look for. But you want to also have, half of the artwork be your artwork, because they need to see like what your style actually is. Because with flash sheets, like traditionally flash sheets were meant to be copied over and over and over again. So a good chunk of like American traditional, like you get like the Sailor Jerry looking tattoos. A lot of people have like the exact same rose or the exact same anchor and everything. So a lot of those like there you can only do, I guess, so much variety with those before everything starts kind of looking the same. So that's why you want to make sure like you can do these simple copy Pinterest whatever flash pieces, but you still have the artistic capability to create custom work.
And with the portfolio, whether you're doing line art, black and gray, or color, do you suggest it always be traditional?
No,
it could be digital.
Yeah, it can be digital because like I work digitally with working with my tattoo work. I know a lot of older tattoo artists would prefer traditional pieces. So if you are able to do traditional artwork, do that. But I mean, I think that's kind of just a preference thing, really.
Depending on the shop you're aiming for.
Yeah. But I mean, well, I guess it would have to be a little bit more traditional with the line work. Like even if you print off your own pictures and then line them traditionally, because you cannot hide your lines on a person's skin. Because you can use tools in Photoshop to straighten your lines and make your circles perfect, but you cannot do that on skin. So I know me personally, I look for traditional.
That's what I was thinking, because if you're tattooing on somebody's skin, you're using more traditional art methods with your hand than you would on a smooth tablet with a pen. At least in the way I'm thinking about it.
No, I mean that's really kind of what it comes down to. And as far as coloring, when you're doing tattoo colors, like I guess the best way to do color and to show like your ability would be watercolor, actually, because skin, working with tattoo ink and skin, is kind of like a translucent medium.
Yeah, mm-hmm. That would make sense. Oh, I like the ear flap on the wrist. That's cool.
I like how you're just looking at photos that our viewers can't see, and you're like, oh, I like this one.
No, I do. It's cool though, because it's just a simple line.
Oh, the blue one with the dog.
Yeah, the blue one. One ear up, one ear down.
I knew that piece. Like that, like sometimes pieces have stories with them too. So that gal, I mean, I took, she gave me her photo of her dog, and I made the line off of her actual dog's photo. But I remember that gal because she came in really upset to the shop. She came in really kind of mad because the shop she had been to previously, they basically laughed at her for wanting that tattoo. They're like, ma'am, that is a regret tattoo, and you're going to want to get that covered up later on. So she was really upset. And at least like she left that day like really happy, and you know she got it in the colors she wanted. And I mean, it's like her dog. Like like I never understood that with people like making fun of their clients to their face like that. I'm like, don't get me wrong, there are some tattoos that I'm just like, ugh, but I would never ever ever say that to anybody's face.
No.
And that's what happened to her. It's like they like apparently the whole shop was belittling her.
That's
upsetting. Unfortunate, because you would think that as a shop you would want to keep a client rather than have a client go out the door, because word of mouth is one of the fastest spreading forms of advertising, and the last thing you want is someone to torch your business with a bad review.
I mean, I totally agree too. But I've noticed, depending on the shop too, sometimes shops have high minimums because they're trying to accomplish larger pieces as well. So with the dog ears, I like to do the smaller pieces too, because it allows me to kind of show off my line work a little bit. I can get in close and you can kind of see that my lines aren't, all over the place. I mean, that would be considered a shop minimum tattoo. And so like our shop minimum is like $80. So no matter what you're getting, the minimum is going to be that. And a lot of times with supplies and everything going up, people are a little reluctant to do shop minimum tattoos or smaller tattoos just because they don't really pay. I guess I don't know what I don't have a good term for that.
I'm thinking it's kind of like the cost of the ink and the setup and the time setting up isn't worth the amount of money you would make actually making the small tattoo.
Yeah, or like having like the time for if you're doing the small tattoo, then like a larger one could possibly come in. So Kind of, yeah.
How the dickens did you do that?
Skill and accuracy. I
No.
don't know.
Again, I'm looking at another picture. I'm looking at the fish that has the scales, and you take a black light over it, and it like shimmers.
Oh, the rainbow fish.
Yeah,
So
that is amazing.
So I guess I'm one of the fewer artists that does UV tattoos because they're kind of controversial.
What now? Why would they be controversial?
So back in the day, UV ink had like fluorescence in it, which was very toxic, and to kind of get that like glow effect. And today, they do not have that. They still are UV reactive, but they have other ingredients in there. And a lot of times people are like, oh no, don't get UV tattoos. It's so toxic. It's terrible for your body. You don't know what's in there. But the reality is, tattoo ink isn't regulated. So no matter what color you get, if it's UV or not, it's not 100% regulated.
Just like vitamins.
Yeah. That's pretty much like there's no CDC anything with tattoo ink, but I mean a lot of it's like mineral pigments anyway, so a lot of its stuff's like non-toxic anyway. But I mean the UV stuff. The UV ink company that I use is I think it's Skin Candy, but it's not terrible. I don't recommend doing like huge giant full-on pieces with it after doing a full-on giant piece with it. It's just really kind of difficult to work with, but they're good for little accents. Like I love doing them like with stars. You can do them just like little pieces, little spots and stripes. And like I know a while back somebody had like the Cheshire cat with like the smile, and like the whole rest of the cat was in black light. That went over the internet like a long time ago.
So is the UV ink kind of translucent and you put it over the color ink, or is it come in different colors?
So it comes in different colors, but I had to learn how to use the translucent one, or the invisible one, I guess. And so the way that I do the quote unquote invisible one is you have to have either fresh skin without any tattoo, or your tattoo has to be completely healed and I have to go over it. When I first started using this, I would do that. I would do like a color, and then I would go over it again with the UV ink, and that was A, painful, B, kind of like a little bit more damage to the skin, and like C, it just all fell out when it healed. So people were coming back to do touch-ups for the UV. So I ended up having to just do it as a second session.
Do you have to have a UV light on while you're tattooing to see it?
No. If I'm doing just UV, it's typically just a stencil, or if it's, already a colored piece, I just stay in the lines. And I just click my UV light when we're done to kind of see where we're at, and if I need to hit it again or anything. I mean, I thought about getting like a UV light to do that, but it's fine.
You got it.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't had any too big of issues yet, and I've not had anybody come back to me with any kind of allergic reaction to any UV ink yet.
Cool. People worried about what's in UV. They should be worried about what the hell's in red.
Right? What the hell was this?
Going back on the apprenticeship, is there a set time that one needs to be an apprentice before they can be considered good to go on their own?
It really depends on how far along your skills, I guess, become. Some people do an apprenticeship for a year, some for 2 years, and sometimes people even go back to do and be like an understudy for like other higher tier artists.
Oh, that's cool.
And I actually have like one of the artists that I go to had done that. They did their apprenticeship, had been tattooing for years, but then went back to like and study under another artist. So I didn't even know that could happen.
That's cool.
I'm like, that's amazing. And it really just kind of depends on like how you progress. I've seen people have apprenticeships, and I think, trying to gather my thoughts here, like the majority of them I think are probably about a year, maybe a year and a half that I know of, at least from the people that I know personally.
That's not too bad.
But it really just kind of depends on like how you're doing. Like, are you actually picking it up? Are you actually, doing what your teacher's, telling you? But also, one of the things to keep in mind that deter people from apprenticeships as well is, back in the day, apprenticeships were more like hazing.
Ooh.
And I know myself and my coworkers, we didn't exactly have a great apprenticeship. My apprenticeship was a little bit different from my coworkers because it was really kind of crappy being a female.
Yeah.
There's more of like a man's world.
It is a very
kind of a thing.
Testosterone heavy industry. Yeah.
It really
like everything is.
There's a lot of sexual harassment,
even from your clients sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I hate to pull the lady card here, but a lot of times people still they're like, oh, I don't want you to tattoo me because you're a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just my my apprenticeship was really kind of dark. I probably would not have, like, I don't know what the rating is on your show, so I don't know how much I can get into it.
Oh, it's
pretty much 18
you can
plus.
Swear.
You're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there are young people that watch us, but you can swear.
I mean, it's probably a good thing to bring this up because, I mean, if there are young girls like wanting to be tattoo artists, you have to be prepared to really tell people no. The only way that I probably would have, like, the only way I got my apprenticeship pretty much was the artist wanted to sleep with me.
Oh my God.
That's what ended up happening. I was 18, 19 years old, and like, I didn't really know any better. And I mean, I know better now, but yeah, just this 40-year-old man wanted to apprentice me because he wanted to do me.
Yeah.
Please tell me it wasn't forced.
It wasn't forced. I can't say it was forced.
But a form of manipulation can still be at play in a situation like that.
That's exactly what it was. Like, I mean, I see it now. I'm like, I'm not going to pull the R card on this at all. I consented. It was consensual. However, it was not great. There was a lot of stuff that happened that should not have happened. And young people, like, I guess it could happen to anybody, like if you're male or female, but it just typically happens to a lot of the times more females. And you have to say no. If they're like, well, I'm not going to do your apprenticeship anymore. You know what? Your dignity is worth more than that.
Yeah.
There will be other people that can, teach you, and don't even deal with that. And like, sometimes I feel like the guys get it worse. Like my coworker, he had to go around outside in like a tutu skirt, and he was mooning police officers, and he could have gotten arrested, something. They were just making him do like nasty stuff. I've heard some people like make their apprentices drink the rinse cup, which that's
not cool. That's messed up.
Yeah, that's so. I'm hoping
that's not even worth
you're not
it.
in the same shop you are apprenticing at now.
No.
Okay.
No.
From what we talked about on Twitter, it sounds like what you're in now is you're in a very LGBTQ plus friendly, safe spot of a tattoo shop. Is that correct?
Oh yeah. So we love everybody and everything. We take everybody of all colors, creeds, nationalities, orientations, whatever. Like, you are safe in our shop. Fuck racists, fuck you transphobes, fuck all y'all, fuck all y'all racists. But yeah, like I love working with everybody. Like, I have like one of my best clients. She's so happy. Her name. She's trans, and she just got her name confirmed, and I've done like
so awesome.
in my Instagram gallery, her tattoo is like the trans symbol with like the sunset colors behind it. I got to do that, and she just it's so wonderful to talk to her, and like I love to hear about people's journeys. I've talked to people about like scar cover-ups. You know, I helped one of my friends, you know, like with his coming out story. I didn't mean to misgender, with his coming out story, and because they're new, and like there's so much love in that shop. I'm the main furry, and you can tell my station is covered in furry stuff.
Are there other furries in your shop?
I would have to say my boss is not a furry. He is very much he's a Disney guy.
Okay. Close enough. We'll consider that as a furry.
Yeah, so my boss is Disney. My other coworker, he's Brony. And he has a fursuit, and he did the Denver with me, but he very much loves the ponies.
Yep.
So we're about, you know, friendship is definitely magic at our shop.
I was going to ask about the furry aspect of it, because I know a lot of artists that are not in the furry community tend to kind of dunk on furry art, even when it's, you know, good and has good technique to it and everything like that. Did you ever run into any of that in your shop or in the past, whether it's your shop or just other artists in general, with tattoos? Because there is also a stereotype of a lot of furry tattoos being absolutely garbage and hilarious, which there are a lot out there, I'm not gonna lie, that are really funny and ugly, but like
so I'm on some cringe pages.
Yeah. Oh, your work is?
My work is
just because it's furry, I'm assuming, because it's all well drawn.
Yep. I did this giant dog bone. It's a whole arm panel. It's blue. I'm sure, like, if anybody's been on furry cringe sites, it says furry and then the number 4 and then life.
Oh, see, that is, I love your art, but that is cringe.
I'm like, if anybody's seen that tattoo, that was totally me who did that. I'm so sorry.
You gave the man what he asked for.
I did. I sure did.
Dude, it should have been a tramp stamp. You should give me a tramp stamp that says that furry for life.
Do that. Just big. It was script number 4, big dog bone. Big dog bone.
In my brain, I kind of am separating like furry tattoos and furry art as tattoos, right? There are furry tattoos like furry pride, rainbow paw print, like that kind of stuff, and then there's furry art as tattoos, like, and both of them can't be good. And cringe culture is dead. Like, if you love that shit, fucking own it. You know what I mean? Like, you can laugh at yourself, you can have a good time and still enjoy what you got or what other people have. You know, it's not racist, it's not problematic, it's just, you know, enjoy it. Enjoy it for what it is.
I wholeheartedly agree. I think this one hasn't made a cringe site yet, but this one follows that, you know, love who you love what you love. The cringiest tattoo. And if the people who have this tattoo or ever listen to this, I love you both, but this is super cringe. I did a lion fucking an otter.
Yo!
Where is it?
It's smack dab on their arm, and if they wear a tank top, you can straight up fucking see that.
Is it on there? Is it on your FA or is it on your Instagram?
No,
anywhere?
I don't have it posted anywhere. If you want to, I can send it to you.
I must see this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I still have it somewhere in my gallery. I might
love you for that.
Yes.
Let's see if I even have it, but
when you sit down with clients and stuff and they want to have something custom done, do you draw it up with them like right then and there, or do you kind of like write down a list of what they want and then kind of come up with a few sketches and like email it to them? Like, how does that process work?
So I used to do a lot of that where I would kind of send sketches and stuff, but I really don't do that anymore. I will write down everything and take notes and do everything. But a lot of times I will have the artwork for them at the appointment, and maybe on occasion I'll send them sketches, but I now don't have time. I pretty much do my pieces a couple days or the night before to be able to do the tattoos. And also, I've had people steal my designs and go elsewhere.
Oh.
Do you take a deposit at least?
I do now.
You should always.
I didn't used to. Oh yeah, like I learned that one the hard way, because I straight up, before I got into this shop, I had a client. I drew up the design. They're like, "Oh yeah, I love it and everything." They're supposed to come over and get it done. They're like, "Yeah, I just have to finish the dinner or something with my dad." They were talking to me while, doing this stuff, and then silence for like an hour, and then they're like, "Yeah, my dad took me to this other tattoo shop to get it done."
Wow.
I'm like, yeah. Yeah,
okay.
No, it's deposits, and it's a trust thing too. It's like, I'm going to be doing this for you. I'm going to be the artist. Like, I need you to either trust me. It's like, you trust me or you don't. Like, these are the examples of what I can do. And I know this kind of sounds bad, but a lot of times if you show the sketches and the artwork with some time in between, people will nitpick the crap out of it. They'll go show their friends, they'll do this, and then the next thing you know, you're doing all these changes that are taking up your time that you need to be working on other things. It seems kind of crappy, but
I find like as a client, I think the tattooing process is, you have to have a lot of trust. Right.
Yeah,
like,
true.
It's a very, I don't know, maybe I'm romanticizing it, but it feels like a very personal experience to me.
Romanticizing.
Oh my God, space. It feels like a very personal experience to me. Like, you're putting, first of all, someone else's artwork, which art is important to the artist, first off.
Yeah.
And they know their art better than anyone else. And then you as a client, you're sporting the art for the rest of your life. You have to have a certain trust in the artist, and you have to have that trust in, they know what they're doing. They know what looks good. They know how a body works better than you would as somebody who doesn't know how to tattoo. And then from maybe the artist perspective, having a deposit would help secure at least somewhat. If they do end up taking a design, at least you have something. But
yeah.
I know I started doing deposits with the shop I regularly go to, and they don't even ask for them anymore because my fiance and I go to the same place. We're so loyal at that point.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. I feel like NFTs would complicate the whole process and would make the trust system feel, I don't know, weird.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like, once you post a picture on the internet, it goes back to people are not creative.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, I get a lot of Pinterest people. So people will go onto Pinterest, they'll find this tattoo, and they'll be like, I want this exact same tattoo.
Ugh, no imagination.
And it sucks. And as when you're starting out as an artist too, you take those. Like, I hate doing Pinterest tattoos. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's a love-hate relationship, because I get to work on my line work and refine some things, but at the same time, it's like, you're getting this tattoo that every other person is having now, and it's mostly with, I guess, normal folk. Like my furry client, like my furry clients and my artist clients understand, and they want custom pieces. But like, I get a lot of normal folks that are like, oh my gosh, I found this picture on Pinterest. It's somebody else's tattoo. And they're like, I've never seen this tattoo on anybody else. I'm like, you're showing me.
Yeah, like, bro, I think like the way I usually go about it, and I think this is how a lot of people, what they'll do is, you can get inspiration from a piece of art. And then use your artist's skill and your trust in them to create a custom piece based off of some inspiration. For example, before the show started, I sent Foxene a picture of a bear tattoo I have on my shoulder. I sent my tattoo artist a drawing of a bear with its arms crossed, and I was like, I like this pose, but I want you to draw it how you would think with this plant. And he took inspiration from the pose, but it's a completely different drawing, right? And along with that reference, I would send images of tattoos that he has specifically done in the past. Like, I like the way you did your lines on this one and your shading on this one. Can you do something like that? So you know, you can get inspiration from, you know, Pinterest tattoos or art online, but if you find an artist that you know does good work, you can get great custom pieces with the same vibe as something you really like online.
Oh yeah. And now I feel like I'm in a position where I can do that.
Yeah.
Like when I was first starting and everything and trying to make it, I wouldn't tell people no. I would just kind of do some of them, and a lot of these ones that you copy, like I don't post them places. Like some of them I have posted just to kind of show my skill level, but after a while they get archived because it's not my original art. And I will typically post, be like, client brought this in or something. But like now I'm at least established enough that I can be like, hey, that's not kind of the work that I'm looking to do. I can direct you to this person who may be able to help you with it. And most of the time too, like when I tell people like, hey, that's somebody else's artwork, that's somebody else's tattoo, let me create something custom for you, like 99% of the time they're fine with it. So that's been kind of nice. But it really is kind of disheartening when you're, finally at a shop and all people want are like little doodah flowers from Pinterest.
Mm-hmm. To wrap everything up, what advice would you give somebody who wants to, either advice you want to give to somebody who's looking to get ink done, and you could do both, someone who wants to get into the industry? What's like the top tier piece of advice you would give?
I think I'm going to give like the getting a tattoo one, because my advice for people getting into the tattoo world is don't. Like I know we're as artists, we're supposed to be like really supportive and yeah, you can do it, but the reality of it is it really is not for everybody, and it is rough. And like one of the things too, if you do want to get into the tattoo world, go get tattoos.
Yes.
So like that is one of the things too. Like if you want to get into the tattoo world, get tattoos. And I'm not saying like little, 2-inch ones. I'm talking about drop some money into some big pieces, like 6 inches or bigger, because you'll have time to sit and talk with the artist. You'll get to hear their stories of like how they started, the rough times in their journey. Get them places that you can see, get them like on your arms or your legs so you can kind of watch their technique and be like, well, why do you do that? How long did it take you to get your lines so straight? How long did you do this for that? Like you want to ask questions. You want to be involved. You want to pay your artist, like
tip your artist.
Artists. Yeah. Tip your artist. I know like tipping is like more of an American thing, but artists, if you're in America and like you want that kind of attention, tip your artists. They remember if you tip big. Like I like, not to say like, if you can't tip, that's okay. Like I don't mind, but like I try to tip my artists at least 20% or above.
I tip big too.
Because it's like I want to network. I want them to do the best work they can. And just like go get tattoos and talk with the artists if you're wanting to, be a tattoo artist and also get tattoos. Kind of goes hand in hand.
Nice.
For sure. The best conversations you'll have is while you're getting tattoos.
Oh my gosh, they have so many stories too. Go ask your tattoos about their craziest stories. They love.
Yeah, I've told my tattoo artist stories to other people because I found them so interesting.
Right.
I have never had a tattoo, so I don't know.
You should get one.
I should. I just don't know what to get. Maybe like a unicorn or something, or a unipoo. like a poo that looks
What's
like
up with you
has
and
like a
unicorns
unicorn coming
and
out of
shit?
it.
It's like both
I don't know.
one and not the other separate. They're entities together, and you're just into it. You were just a Hot Topic child. I love it.
I really am. Hot Topic rules. That place is rad. It's where I get most of my wallets.
Oh my god.
Oh, right. They have great
They
wallets.
do.
Holy crap.
They do. They really do. And they have some pretty sweet stuff there.
Right?
Yeah,
Huh.
they really do.
Sponsorship, please.
And they always have
Right?
sales.
Right.
Before we head out, do you want to go ahead and share your social medias where people might be able to find you if they want to see your work, like Instagram, Twitter, stuff like that?
Oh yeah, like I've had the same name literally since I was in middle school. If you type in Foxene in Google, Foxene, and then Starr, Starr, you can find like random stuff from like my DeviantArt days. Don't just do Foxene, because apparently it was a Russian stripper before I took over the name.
Wonderful.
Yes, that's amazing.
So if you type in just Foxene, be prepared. You might find a Russian stripper. But like my Twitter, my Instagram, it's all Foxene or Foxene Starr. Yeah, I'm not creative. That's just literally, I've been branding Foxene Starr on everything. Even on Facebook, it's like my Facebook and my tattoo brand is it's Vexed Vixen Inc. Trying to stick with the Foxy feel.
That's cool.
But if you end up on my Instagram, which it looks like it is under Foxene Starr, I also have a link to my link tree, and it kind of has all my other little social medias on there. I'm Foxene on Fur Affinity, although I don't post a lot there. I don't post a lot there anymore, but I think I'm going to start posting a lot more of my tattoos on there because I still have a presence on there a little bit. So.
And she does have some really good artwork on there too. I have scoped it out when I was writing up notes for this show. She's got some legit stuff there. So highly recommend looking at it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, we enjoyed talking with you today. Thank you very much once again for coming onto our show and chatting with us. It's great to hear that there are furry tattooers. Do I call you a tattoo? I don't call you a tattoo, but
I'll be a
tattooist, a tattoo artist, a tattooer.
I just go with tattoo artist.
Tattoo artist?
Yeah, the other ones sound weird to me, but some people like other ones. So
it's cool to find that there's a furry tattoo artist in the fandom. You know, that's I didn't know that there was one in there until I saw one on Twitter feed, and I'm like, I have to get you on the show. This seems legitimately like a cool thing to go over, and I'm so glad I got you on the show. So thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do more of these types of shows now.
Well, thank y'all for listening. This has been a great episode. And if you want to share your tattoos, go ahead and email us over at talktothemuzzle@gmail.com. We would love to see them. Maybe we could do a visual show. I think that'd be fun.
Yes, that'd be a lot of fun. Cool. All right. I don't know what I just said there. I said, all right. Anyways.
all right.
All right. Everyone, have a good night. See ya. Bye.